Former unified British heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua says he would much rather have the rematch between himself and Andy Ruiz take place in New York City. Doesn't mind having it back home in the UK, but he'd much rather have it in New York City. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. UK fans, you guys may be in trouble. You guys may be in trouble as Anthony Joshua, former unified heavyweight champion, says he would much rather have the rematch take place between himself and Andy Ruiz in the United States, in New York City. He says he wants to run it back in New York City. New York City showed him a lot of love. They welcomed him with open arms, and he absolutely fell in love with it. He stated that he doesn't mind having it back home in the UK, but man, the New York City, man, oh man, that's the words of Anthony Joshua. He says, don't know the location. He says, I'm definitely going to exercise the rematch clause. As far as the location goes, he says either New York City or the UK, but if it's his preference, he wanted to be in New York City. He says that I don't mind having it at home, but New York, oh man, that's his exact words. He said they welcome me with open arms. He said that it was nothing but love. He said, I loved it. I fell in love with New York City. Now we know Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, they're going to try to push for Anthony Joshua to take the fight in the UK. They're going to push for Anthony Joshua to have the fight in the UK. Their preference. Anthony Joshua's preference is to have it in New York City. Andy Ruiz's preference is to have it in LA, #1, New York City, #2, right? But he wants to have it in the States. Now, guaranteed though, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, they're going to push Anthony Joshua against his wishes to have the fight in the UK. That's why he's saying he doesn't mind having it in the UK. He's doing that for his fans to not feel slighted, right? He's doing damage control. He don't want them to feel slighted. He don't want to come out outright and say, I want to have the rematch in New York City, flat out, point blank, period, right? So he has to leave the door open. He don't want them to feel slighted because, like he said, you know, they supported me through and through, right? So I must show them love. They show me love. So he wants to continue to be loyal. But in his heart, in his soul, in his stomach, Anthony Joshua wants to have the rematch with Andy Ruiz back in New York at Madison Square Garden. He stated that even though I took a loss there, he said it was epic. He said the whole experience was epic. It was legendary for me. This is what he said. He said the history there. He said, man, oh man, even though I took a loss, the experience was like no other. He talked very, very highly of New York. He loves the fact that New York, Madison Square Garden is the mecca of boxing, the mecca of all meccas. It's the sporting arena of all arenas, right? It's the mecca of boxing. It's the mecca of basketball. It is the mecca of all meccas, right? And so he loves the history there. And so he stated that even though it didn't go as planned, I would love to go back there and have the rematch with Andy Ruiz. He said because of the whole scenario, because of the whole history, right? For me to capture my belts back at Madison Square Garden in New York would be epic, right? It would be absolutely historic. So UK fans, you guys might be in trouble as Anthony Joshua is stating that he really wants the fight to take place, the rematch to take place at Madison Square Garden. But we know Eddie Hearn has already come out before asking Anthony Joshua's wishes, before finding out what Anthony Joshua actually wants to do. Eddie Hearn has already come out and stated that, oh, the rematch would be in November, December in the UK, right? That's not Anthony Joshua talking, that's Eddie Hearn talking. And it's becoming even abundantly clear that Eddie Hearn is out for what's best for himself and Matchroom, not what's best for Anthony Joshua. He claims that Anthony Joshua is a close friend of his. He claims that he got Anthony Joshua's well wishes at heart. You know, But at the end of the day, you know, we see that it's about Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. What's best for Matchroom? What's best for Eddie Hearn? What's best for DAZN? It's not what's best for Anthony Joshua, because if it was, he would have asked Anthony Joshua what's his plans before he came. So we know it's not about Anthony Joshua and his well wishes and what Anthony Joshua wants. It's what's best for Matchroom and Matchroom Promotions and Eddie Hearn, point blank and period. But let's see how this plays out. Anthony Joshua says he really truly wants the rematch to take place in New York City. He don't mind having it at home in the UK, but he truly wants it to have in New York City. He said, oh man, the love that I was shown there, the atmosphere and the history is like no other. So that's all I got for y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. Anthony Joshua states that he really wants the rematch between himself and Andy Ruiz Jr. to capture his belts to be back in New York City at Madison Square Garden. He feels like it would just be absolutely epic and historic. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
The Blue Blood Sports TV.